So the Philadelphia Eagles seem like they're all in on Kamu Grugier-Hill at linebacker on the weak side. Howie Roseman said, we're not done updating this roster, that they're not taking a vacation, that the Eagles are going to keep striving to make this team better, okay? It's not better. Just because the draft is over, just because the draft is done, it does not mean Howie Roseman is going to stop. And this is pretty much saying that Howie Roseman is still upgrading this team regardless of what the situation is. And he talked about Kamu Grugier-Hill today. Talked about Kamu. Said that he has a very high ceiling with this defense. For a guy that only played 32% of the snaps last year. And then before that, he was just a special teamer on the Eagles. I think he was on the Patriots. He was on. I think he was on two other teams. I'm not really sure, but just special teamer and earned his way onto the field. Okay. I don't dislike Kamu. I'm not a big Kamu fan either, but we could have had somebody worse that's in there. Okay. Us Eagles fans could have been having other guys in here. Okay, at this linebacker position. We could have had worse than what we had. Just think about it. You kind of have to be happy about the linebacker position to a certain point of view. Because you have a guy like Nate Gary that has had playing time because of injury. Paul Worlow, you don't know what he's going to bring to the table, but goddamn, you're going to be sure excited to see what he's going to bring. A veteran presence, a guy that's played the position, a guy that's done a lot in this league. You have Nigel Bradham, that he's probably one of the toughest guys on the team because he played line, he was the middle linebacker, and honestly, he broke his thumb. He played with a broken thumb the rest of the year, and he has played at a high level. Nigel Bradham is one of the best free agent signings we've had the past few years. He has, and he deserved to get that contract. It wasn't a big contract. It was actually a pretty fair contract to be here for 5 years. But Nigel Bradham, I'm glad that he's a part of this. So between Nate Gary, Nigel Bradham, Paul Worlow, and you got Kamu now. Howie Roseman expects a lot. Not that he's not going to touch the position of linebacker. He'll touch this position up a little bit. But speaking of Kamu, he's very high on Kamu. And you know what? If he's high on Kamu, then hell, I'll be high on Kamu. Because you know what? We could have had somebody worse out there. We really could have. You know what? He's not the best coverage guy. Kamu's not really good at coverage whatsoever. I mean, he's a good tackler. He comes down. He could set the tone. He's made plays. He made it in that Falcons game, in the opener during that Falcons game. He made, I think it was the opener or whatnot. He made that play on the fourth down. It was like 4th and 3 on the goal line. And made that play in the backfield. So he's becoming a better blitzer. He's doing a lot more on the field to get, I understand what Howie Roseman is doing. Howie Roseman pretty much said, hey, we're not taking a vacation just because the draft is over. We're still going to be updating this team. We're still going to be making more decisions. And you know what? I already knew this. We already knew this, that Howie Roseman's not done. He's not done with any of these moves. But you talk about the linebacker position, yeah, it's a big hole. You talk about the safety position, it's a futuristic hole. But he's high. This is why we didn't draft a cornerback, guys. This is why we didn't draft a cornerback, because he is high on the guys we have now. We pretty much have the same cornerback group we did last year. Now you're adding 2 pieces, plus guys returning from injury. You're adding Crevon LeBlanc. You're adding Avonte Maddox. And goddamn, you can't really complain about that. Ronald Darby came back here. It's his best. You have Jalen Mills on a contract here. He's going to play his heart out. Ronald Darby's on a contract here. He's going to play his heart out. You have guys on contract here who's going to play their damn hearts out, knowing that what their future is going to be with this team. So, I don't think we're going to have Jalen Mills after this year. I don't think we're going to have Ronald Darby after this year. But for hell, with this linebacker spot right now, I'm sure everybody is going to play hard. It doesn't matter what position it is. Okay, so the main summary of this whole video right now is pretty much the Eagles are high on Kamu. The Eagles think he has a high ceiling, and there's more moves to come. And that's what this is all about. There are more moves to come, which I already knew this. Like I said, we already do this already. So more moves to come, and that's really it, guys. I just want this linebacker spot. You still have Zach Brown out there that was on the Redskins. He was there for a few years. Actually played pretty damn well. Zach Brown brings a physical presence to the team. And I don't know. I don't know if they would actually go out and get him. Navarro Bowman's another guy, which I don't know. He's been out there. I don't know. Navarro Bowman's another guy. He went in the free agency after he left the Raiders. He just disappeared. He got hurt. He left the Raiders. He disappeared, and then he never came back. So I don't know who else is really out there, but you could make a trade. You could do a few things, but I think the Eagles are going to stay put with what we have, and they might add some pieces, see how training camp goes, see how the new TJ Edwards, the undrafted linebacker from Wisconsin comes in here. So there's a lot of options the Eagles do have right now. So you have a huge chance on doing some good things. So that's pretty much it, guys. I agree 100% with what Howie said. I agree with even what they said about Kamu Grugier-Hill, man. I mean, honestly, we could have worse than what he brings to the table. He's not the best linebacker out there, but the guy plays really hard and the guy fights real hard. And that's what this defense is all about. This is all about a resilient team. This is resiliency. This is sacrifice, what you're going to bring to the table every week. And everyone puts 110% of their soul into this thing. Okay, into this culture that Doug Peterson has brought to Philadelphia. We have the culture back into Philadelphia. The brotherly love is back into Philadelphia. The camaraderie is back into Philadelphia. I could just go on and on. So, Howie's not done. And not even close. We could look at the roster now and say, okay, we still have holes. We don't really necessarily have holes. We just need to upgrade a little bit, okay? So that's really about it. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Kamu Grugier-Hill and what Howie Roseman says about not being done with the progression of this roster and with this coaching staff. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I will see you guys later. Shea squad up. Files fly.